All right, so if we can cool here is with Gabriel and the Apocalypse. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. I see you guys keep on getting new things out there. We got the Point Three remix coming out. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, we're a band that, we don't like to sit still. We want to constantly keep moving and keep the momentum. And since we can't play shows, we're just, we thought it'd be a good time to do our remix EP that we had been talking about for a while. And
Right.
so we just felt like we can still release, new content and keep things rolling.
It's got to be real frustrating as a musician not knowing when you can get actually on the road again.
It is, and especially for a band like us, we just crave that adrenaline and that chaos and the excitement and that close connection with our fans. So it's it's been pretty frustrating, but as I said, I think just to keep us distracted, we've just been, you know, just keep on releasing new content and photos and anything we can do just to feel like we're staying busy.
Right, right. Well, one thing that's got to be hard though too is when you get a metal band, you can't go do an acoustic show. You can't, go and do some bullshit online thing without,
Right.
compromising yourself.
And we thought about doing an acoustic thing. We do have some softer songs, but the thing is, it's like, or we talked about having a live concert. But as I said, with like, we're a type of band that's kind of known for our onstage, like live energy. And I would just be afraid that it wouldn't translate well.
Oh,
So if we can't do it 100%, then I just feel like I just don't want to do it at all until we can do it 100%.
oh, yeah, I know what you mean 100%. I mean, I did watch Guars, and it was like, it was okay, it was cool, it's still Guar, but it's not like being at a Guar show.
Exactly. And that's the reaction I don't want to have. Like people be like, yeah, it's great, but it's not Gabriel the Apocalypse. It's not like what I know or what I like. So I'd rather just wait and then have people like really, they're so excited that we're finally playing live again. And I think in the long run, that might be the better way for us to go.
Right. I say, plus, how
Just
truly
wait
pumped
until
up
we
can
can do it.
how pumped up can you
What's
truly
that?
how pumped up can you truly get playing to a camera though too? You know what I mean? You're not.
And that's the thing. We feed off of the live crowd. Like, a lot of bands do. And I'm just like, I don't know. I think it would feel awkward for me
Right.
anyway. I think it would feel really awkward.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen some of the other ones that they're pre-recorded. You could tell they did several
hmm
takes. It ain't a live show. When I watch something live, I want to see a fuck up. Maybe I want to see something different than usual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I got the Pussifer live concert,
Right.
and the production was amazing, but you could tell that the vocals and everything. It was so produced and polished that it didn't have that live feeling. It was amazing, but it didn't have that live feeling.
So now back to this remix album. I mean, how fun was that to go ahead and take some tracks and get a new take on everything?
That was great, especially just to work with like friends of ours, like Rick from Mushroom Head and Sin from Ministry, people that we've known for a while, and be like, hey, would you be interested in remixing one of the songs off of Alpha Bionic? And just seeing like what song they decided to do and just like their take on it was just really exciting to hear back. And it just kind of breathed new life into the record because it was cut short for us promoting it because of everything being shut down. And so we felt like, wow, it's like such a waste, like a record that we feel is like our best work that was cut short. So doing these remixes kind of, I think, brings attention to that record again too.
Now, Timelines did the remix for the video that's coming out, right?
Yeah. Yep. And that's like a local artist in Minneapolis that we've known for a really long time. And I really like how that one turned out. It's kind of like has a soundtrack kind of feel to it. It feels like it could be like in Matrix or something.
Right, right.
So yeah, we absolutely love how that one turned out. And that's the third single release for the EP, and that'll be like the last single release for the EP. And then the entire EP will come out on the 26th of February. So we're gonna be doing some pre-orders that start Wednesday.
Now, how did you pick who got to do what song?
They had actually decided to choose. And it's interesting because like a song that we thought maybe Rick was gonna pick, we thought he was gonna pick like Sonic Bionic, and then he came back with Systematic Chaos, which we were surprised because that's more of like a radio song, you know.
Right.
But then how he, with his twist on it, it was just like so dark and grimy and old school industrial strip club, goth club kind of vibe, and like that's probably our favorite one, and that's why we had that one as the first single for it. But yeah, everyone chose their own song they wanted to remix.
Now, the pre-sale starts this Friday, right?
Yeah, we actually might start it on Wednesday now that the video is going to be released, and like the single will be available on Friday for download and everything. But I think we might actually start the pre-orders on Wednesday.
Now, are you offering anything cool with a pre-order, like a?
Yeah, I mean, we have like different bundles that I like put together. So we have, you know, bundles with buttons and stickers. We have like signed CDs like in the frames, and we have limited run edition like t-shirts and prints, and like 6x20 canvases with handwritten lyrics and stuff. Like I'm always kind of thinking and brainstorming about like cool merchandise that's really like personable.
See, that's one crazy thing about this pandemic is like you're able to get a lot of cool shit from bands lately. How often do you really get a chance to get an autographed CD when it comes out?
Exactly, because that's the thing, you know, like you make money like at our level when you're on tour, and we aren't. And I'm like, how are we going to survive this? How are we going to stay afloat? So I mean, I've been making you know, one of a kind hoodies, denim vests, like whatever I can do, like journal photo books, like. So I've been putting a lot of time into that kind of thing.
See, that's one thing the fans need to understand during all this time is that there's no bailout for being a musician. I mean, a rock star is still a job. When you're not able to tour and make money, you're not making money. Like you literally
exactly. It's scary and it's been stressful. You know, I'm like, because you know we have other things in the like a band, we're a business that we have to pay for, and I'm just like, okay, how are we gonna do this? And I'm like, okay. Like let's do this photo shoot, let's do this, let's try to sell that. Like so it's been a constant grind to stay afloat during this time.
Oh yeah, I mean what fans need to realize is they really got to start supporting by buying some stuff. I mean this day and age everyone thinks that they're entitled to free shit, you know, they don't want to pay for music anymore.
right. Yeah, and that's the thing, like because there are going to be some bands that aren't going to be able to survive this, you know, and I hope we can survive it. You know, we don't know when this is going to end. We don't know when we're going to be able to go do a 6-week tour. Because I mean, I imagine when touring does resume, I imagine it's going to start out small, and it's gonna, I don't know if it's going to be like a 6-week tour. It might be like a weekend run or like 10 dates or something, and smaller capacity. So like, I mean, that's just scary not to know.
Oh, 100% on that. I mean, fans just think you're a rock star, you're rich, so they're like, fuck them, they'll be fine.
Yeah. People don't get that. It's like, no, like there's a lot that goes to it. There's a lot of grind behind the scenes that, I mean, just to be able to tour, it's hard. And you barely, and on our level, it's like you're barely staying afloat doing it, but you do it because you do have fun doing it at the end of the day. And you know, we love our fans so much and we want to go and tour and be there, but the support is what will make a band survive.
Oh yeah, I mean they don't realize that a lot of the bands out there now have to get 9-to-5 jobs to get some money.
Definitely, no, for sure.
And the scary part is once the shit opens back up, you don't know what mid-level band is more comfortable because they got a job doing whatever, and that pays more than what actually on the
road. Exactly. Yeah. So, you gotta start reevaluating things too. I mean, I've been reevaluating like in my head, you know. But as I said, it's just a tough time, and like so, and there's a lot of unknown.
So yeah, at least one thing is when you plan ahead and you're ready to go on tour and things are able to, at least you'll have more of a mindset of what needs to get accomplished this time around.
Right. Definitely.
Sitting around all this downtime makes you really think about, okay, this is what we got to do when shit gets open.
Exactly.
So I do see you guys do have a lot of different merch and stuff. I see there's a Villains Day line that you put out for February, right?
Yep, that was just like, I've been wanting to do that for a couple of years now, and I'm like, let's do it. You know, we have the time. Like, let's put this together. And I like to do a lot of limited edition and small batch kind of thing. So like that's kind of what we have going on right now. And And then we'll have the pre-orders launching with all those bundles and, some stuff that goes like a t-shirt and a canvas that goes along with like the 0.3 single release as well. So we're constantly, as I said, just trying to think of ways to keep people engaged and to stay afloat.
Now, during this downtime, did you guys write any new music, like new album coming out or anything?
Yeah, we're working on that right now. And it's been hard just because we haven't all been in a room together for a couple months. But when we were trying to just like kind of write on our own time and kind of email things back and forth, but we're getting to like, we have a timeline that our manager kind of has for us as far as to release brand new music. But then at the same time, it kind of depends on if we can tour at that time, because we don't want to release brand spanking shiny new music if we can't tour on it. So we might have to just put it, like finish it, complete it, and put it in our back pocket until we can tour. But we at least want to have things ready and we're prepared for that. So yeah, we have a ton of new music that's written it's still the early stages, but we're definitely working on it.
See, that's one thing I was always afraid of during all this downtime. What if a band puts out 2-3 albums during this lockdown when they tour? You know what I mean?
Right.
What the fuck are they playing? I don't know.
Yeah.
So how different is the process when you're writing when you can't be with each other?
I mean, for us, we're the type of band, we don't typically get in a room together and write a record. We've always kind of written it like that. We've always just kind of written pieces on our own and emailed it back to each other, and then we'd come together and jam it out. So it isn't that much different. I know we did want to try it that way to get together and try writing that way, but it's just with the situation, it's been really difficult. So, I mean, we might end up just doing what we've always done,
Right.
Mhm.
Now, with your big canvas pieces that I'm looking at your Facebook as we're talking right there. How big is it?
16 by 20.
Oh, so it's a nice size piece.
Yeah. And I have a new one coming out on Wednesday. So like for every single that we've released for the EP, I've done the 16 by canvases with the handwritten lyrics for the song. So that'll be the one that we're releasing on Wednesday to kind of complete the collection of those.
That's awesome. That's
Thanks,
a nice looking piece.
Thank you.
Sometimes you see some of these guys are just putting out shit right now to try and make some money.
Yeah. I mean, we try our best to just like release good quality products. And as I said, that are personable, and like we put a lot of time into it. So.
Well, I mean, it looks like you're definitely enjoying what you're doing and you're putting out a high quality. That's something
for sure, man.
Something that somebody will want to hang up. I mean,
Yeah, right.
There's so much shit I get from bands sometimes. I just got to put in a box and be like, okay, thank you. Whatever. What the fuck they were thinking making this thing.
Oh, that's funny.
So you personally, how are you holding up with all this craziness that's going on?
For me, I've always been like a homebody, and so I have rarely left the house in almost a year since we got back from tour last March. The dead of winter, it's kind of been harder the last month, but I stay busy. I also have like my own brand, Pink Noise Collections, where I make and customize clothing. I have my own makeup line and things like that. So that keeps me really busy too. I put a lot of time into that. And during this pandemic, I sold my house that I had in town and moved to the country. So I just been kind of settling in and painting and doing stuff like that too, so, and spending time with my dogs. All that extra time with my dogs has been awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm constantly staying busy. Like I never get bored. My mind's constantly going. So, it hasn't really affected me. I wish I could see, all my friends and my family. I haven't seen anybody. So I'm hoping things get better and I can have like a big old like party at my house or something like that. That'd be fun.
See, it's got to be crazy being a touring band, and then the whole time you're on the road, you're like, man, I just wish I had a little downtime. I wish I could be at home. Now it's just like, fuck.
Right. Yeah, because I've been wanting to sell my house for a while, but I never could because you have to put so much time into that, just because of constantly touring. And then when this happened, right away I was like, I'm getting my house ready to sell, because if we can't tour, like this is the time to do it. So I freaking did it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You
got
know.
it done, it's kind of crazy, but so.
So the one thing I enjoy about your band is that you're constantly putting out music, you're constantly putting out singles, like the remix album and things like that. I mean, right now there ain't shit to do for anybody. There's no new movies coming out. There ain't, you can't
Mhm.
leave the house. You know what I mean? At least
Right.
you guys are doing something to help fill that void of doing anything. To be honest.
Mhm.
So when touring starts back up and you get back out on the road, do you think fans are going to be more in the moment? You know, like enjoying what's going on?
I think so. And I even think like fans will be too, because we've had so many people over the years that have like, I've been wanting to see you, I've been wanting to see you. And they always say, well, I'll catch you guys next time. And I think too, for that, people are gonna, when there's a show, if you really want to go, you better fucking go, because you don't know
Right.
when you'll get that chance, or if that band might break up or the world might end or whatever, like who knows. So, but I mean, I think for us too, I mean, we live in the moment, like we just always kind of live in the moment, but I think like we definitely will even more so in the future when we can tour again and not take it for granted and not bitch about certain things that might happen on the road or whatever. So, um, I think we'll appreciate it more.
Yeah. I mean, I used to go to 2, 3, 4 concerts a week of major shows. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I was one of those dudes that did take it for granted. I'd be on my phone sometimes checking like a chick because I've seen this band. I know I'm going to see them again or whatever. But now,
Right.
like, give me that opportunity again, please.
Yep. Definitely. Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, just let me enjoy some live.
Right.
See, that's the one thing too that's never going to get taken away. You know, I mean, people are getting adjusted to doing things at home. And look at us, we're doing this online.
Exactly.
I mean, my kid goes to school online just like this. Movies are getting sent right to your TV instead of going to theaters. But you'll never be able to take that live show and give that home experience. You know, at least
Exactly.
things go on. That'll be the one thing that'll brace us all together.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, I never thought this would happen in my lifetime. It's just insane. Like we were on tour when this was kind of unfolding,
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, and then as soon as we got back home, everything shut down. And then we're like, shit, you think we should have finished the last couple of shows on this tour? Like this is kind of getting like for real now. So it was pretty interesting, like, because we were traveling everywhere. And yeah, it's just kind of insane. We came back home to like a different world.
so now when you're speaking to your managers and promoters and whatnot, are they saying, all right, let's try and book some dates, let's try and get something down?
We've talked to our manager, and he said that a lot of booking agents won't even book until May. And so we're planning on releasing new music in May, but only if we're able to tour at that point.
Right, right.
And he still said everything's still so up in the air. So we don't really know. But I mean, as I said, if we can just be prepared and have new songs and music videos ready to go, but yeah, I mean, the soonest would be May, but I mean, I personally think it's going to be longer than that.
I think so too, but I mean, just
Yeah.
as a musician, you're going to want to try and lock down that shit. You know what I mean? There's only going to be so many dates and so many venues. So
Right.
everyone's
Right.
going to be fighting at the same time for the same bit of real estate.
Right. And that's the thing, if you book a tour and you're planning on it, you have to invest money in all the merchandise and everything that goes along with it. And if that tour doesn't happen, you just invested all your money and all your merchandise is sitting in a room somewhere. So it's kind of like, you really need to know, like, for sure it's going to happen before you pull the trigger and invest all the money into that.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I always wonder what third world country are we in Motley Crue 2020 World Tour show. It's right now.
Yeah, right. There you go. Right.
Man,
Man, I want to get one of those shirts. I love Motley Crue.
Right? So it's just going to be interesting too, though. I mean, because when you're trying to figure things out and you want to book to lock in the real estate, you don't want to piss fans off by having their money locked up for so long. I mean, me personally,
Right.
I got Guns N' Roses tickets and Rage Against the Machine tickets for shit I know I'm not going to see this year. There's no way
Yeah.
see a sold out
Right.
50,000 capacity show.
Right.
Stop playing the game and Ticketmaster, give me my cash back. Goddamn it.
Exactly. Because that's the thing. As I said, I mean, I imagine things are going to start out a lot smaller, and I can't imagine doing like a 6-week huge tour at this point, you know, anytime in the next 6 to 8 months. I mean, I don't see it happening. I wanted to, but I don't know, you know, and that's just scary, standing on the sidelines, just hoping we can play. But I mean, and at the same time, we want everyone to be safe. We want us to be safe, our fans to be safe. And so, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, another scary thing too is you don't know how it's going to affect you financially. I mean, you're used to getting X amount of dollars per show.
Right.
Move forward. If it's half capacity, do you still get the same? Do they raise?
That's the thing. That's the thing. You know, that is just crazy. Because then it has to be financially worth it for us to be able to go out and do it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many
So,
back end expenses that people don't think about. I mean, besides
right.
paying yourself to be out there and do the work, you got to get
Mhm.
coatings, you got to get texts, you got to get
Right.
to drive your bus, you know, food, gas, all that.
Exactly. And it adds up really fast.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah. So it has to have that balance to make it worth it to do it. You know, we've been asked to play shows where, you know, states that are open, but it doesn't make sense for us to go drive 10 hours to a place that's open to play one show and drive 10 hours back. You know, that doesn't make sense. We have to be able to, you know, play a bunch of shows on our way out and back to make it worth it.
See, that's what I always thought about too, is the people that go ahead and do the 1 or 2 shows in like Texas that's open, but when you come home, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks and get tested.
Exactly.
You don't know
Right.
what's going on when you went out there to make whatever, a couple bucks for that one.
Right.
You mean?
Right.
That and routing's going to be a bitch too, because each state is having different things. So you're no longer
Exactly.
able to go, I'm playing here, 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 and here. It's going to be spaced out, which is going to be more money in the long run for gas and, you know,
Right.
bus and whatever.
Right.
It's going to be a different world, man. It's going to be fucking crazy for everybody.
I know.
So, but people are listening to this. They want to follow up with you. They want to know more about the band. They want to get the remixes. They want to buy the album. They want to buy some of that cool canvas autograph shit. Where do they go? What do they do for everything?
Go to GabrielApocalypse.com under store, or you can go to GabrielApocalypse.bigcartel.com. That goes directly to our merch store. I run all that. So I put everything together for you guys and package it with love and little notes and stuff. And I run our Facebook and Instagram. So if people message us or wondering where they can get something, you know, I'm pretty good at communicating back. I'm trying to get better at that. And so as I said, you know, we have a close relationship with our fans, and we're trying to, you know, maintain that relationship. So, but yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you have your own line. You do clothing and makeup and stuff like that. If people want to check that out, do you have a site for that too?
Yeah, that's pinknoise.bigcartel.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to hopefully some new music coming out of you this year, and touring is going to be the main thing. I can't wait to
Right.
in the meantime, I appreciate everything you've been doing. Thank you for being on the show, and I look more forward to great things coming from you.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, and keep in touch.
All right, take care.
All right. Yeah, you too, man.